Part 13 of reading every X-Men comic ever. This set of issues, numbers 125 to 135 and X-Men Annual number 3, started off rough, but really picked up at the end. We got our introductions to Catherine Kitty Pryde and Dazzler, as well as Emma Frost, Sebastian Shaw, and the Hellfire Club. But before we get to that, we have to cover X-Men Annual number 3, where a man fails to communicate his needs and the X-Men end up fighting an army. This is a thing that happens and will probably never be brought up again. It does not matter. What does matter, however, is that Moira McTaggart is trying and failing to figure out how Jean's Phoenix powers work. But that is not her biggest problem on Muir Island. Turns out, her secret resident has escaped and is not thrilled about being captive. However, he has other priorities. The X-Men head out to lend a hand in catching the escapee, who turns out to be the most dangerous type of mutant, a reality warper. As you can imagine, things get funky real quick, especially when it is revealed that Mutant X here is Moira's kid, and he takes over the body of her estranged husband. Colossus delivers the final blow, as this guy has a rather fortunate weakness to metal. Once that's over, the X-Men, minus Banshee, return home and find that Chuck has also returned. He isn't thrilled with how Scott's been running the team in his absence, but before they can really hash it out, Charles takes Wolverine, Storm, and Colossus to Chicago to go see about a certain Catherine Pryde, and it doesn't go well. At the same time, Scott and Jean investigate a disco club for a new mutant and find Dazzler. Kitty does the right thing and contacts the New York team for help. Cyclops, Jean, and Nightcrawler head to Chicago and team up with Dazzler and Kitty to rescue the captured X-Men from one Emma Frost. Having now learned about the Hellfire Club, the X-Men decide that their best plan of action is to infiltrate the Hellfire Club without disguises. The worst barbershop quartet ever revels in their victory, especially one Jason Wingard, aka infamous for never doing anything X-Men villain Mastermind, who over the last 8 issues has slowly been molding Jean into the woman of his dreams, an evil British woman from 1800s England. This admittedly does work for a bit, but only until he kills Cyclops in the astral plane, and then all hell breaks loose. The X-Men escape their captors, and Jean Grey essentially kills a man. However, it's all too late, and the damage Mastermind did is too great, and it's Dark Phoenix time, motherfuckers. Yeah, this is where the Dark Phoenix saga begins, as her fully unleashed presence is felt across the world, and she not only defeats the X-Men with extreme ease, but then flies across the entire universe, absorbs a sun, killing an innocent planet in the process. The Dark Phoenix is a fucking menace. Like I said at the beginning, this batch started off kinda mid, but progressively got better as it went. To that end, X-Men Annual number 3 gets a 5 out of 10. Issues 26 and 27 both get 6 out of 10. Issues 125, 128, 129, 130, 132, 133, they all get 7 out of 10. Issue 134 gets an 8 out of 10, and issue 135 gets a 9 out of 10. If that first issue was any indication, we are in some peak X-Men next time. Dark Phoenix Saga is going to be hitting full power, and I'm so excited.